Hey guys, how you doing today? Perfect. Well, ready to roll? Looks good. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or if I'm just yelling too loud. Is the mic? Perfect. How about now? There we go. Ah, perfect. Okay, welcome everybody. Feedback. All right, so today I want to thank all of you guys for coming out and thank everybody for joining this conference. It's pretty exciting, and we're excited to be here today as well. My name is Jeffrey Podman, and I'm from the company that we created called OPN, or Open People Network. And you can find more information about us at opn.ninja, where we started this company about a year ago, and the premise behind it was, how do we help startups get into the community faster, find out how their products can work, and then get in front of money, which is every company, when they start to work out, they all have an end goal, which is to raise dollars through angel networks, VCs, and work their way up and grow their business. So what we wanted to provide was a platform to build community and help them be able to maneuver through that. And in the time frame that we've been doing this over the last year, this is our 14th show. We've had lots of great things that have occurred from this. It started off very grassroots. We started at a place that we worked, put something together, had 4 startups that came in. And from there, people started saying, hey, we like this, we need more time. So we started kind of thinking, well, maybe we can keep running this on a monthly basis. And from there, it's kind of extended into running in different regions. So now we've started in, you can see from here, we're in York, Durham, and expanding into other areas as we go. And they're starting to run monthly, some are running quarterly. But the idea is that we're getting more exposure, which is giving more exposure to the startups. And really, at the end of the day, that's what everybody's looking for. How do we get out there, talk, speak, and get in front of a large group so that we can mirror what's going on when we get in front of angel groups? So from the hashtags, everything, we do have a bunch as well for the OPN side. We always got them promoting. So if you do look it up, it's O People Network for @ and the hashtag is Pitchit DYPB. So the whole concept that as we started to grow this out, what we wanted to be able to do was find a way that would allow for businesses to get a little bit more advanced and a little bit quicker into the space. So we said, well, can we cut back time, and what can we help out with? And we kind of came up with, spend less time finding money and spend more time growing your business. And that's really where OPN has totally shifted itself to. So we really want to help work, groom from anything inside the financial side, the marketing side, everything that has to do with your business, so you can spend more of your time out there hustling and growing your business, and we'll help you with all those other pieces that will drive you to getting that investment. All of this wouldn't have worked if we didn't have great partners. And I'm sure if some of you came here earlier today, you may have actually got to try some of the Flow water. Flow has been a sponsor of ours since day one. So since we came up with the concept, Flow said, you know what, we're in, we want to sponsor all your events. So they've been with us since the beginning. Miller Thompson is a new partner that's come on board to help us with the startups. And again, as we expand, we're looking at how can we bring in the right partners that are going to help the startups as we move forward. Symbol on the sales side, same idea. How can we now help them expand and grow in the sales front? And then Heartboot, which I always tend to forget to talk about. Heartboot is actually my software company that we've been running for 10 years. Started the company and to help giving back, you could say that now, but at the time it was about growing a business and doing software development. So it's all custom based, and we've been in business for the last 10 years. Clicker. Oh. Okay, so when you say we want more, we've been trying to put together a lot more of these events, from working inside of corporations to working inside of different conferences. So the upcoming events that we have, on the 23rd, we have Pitchit York, Pitchit TO, which is our staple business where we run it every month continuously. Our biggest event is Pitchit City Hall. It's become our biggest event because we've drove the most businesses, people, entrepreneurs, C-levels to come in and check it out. So in that one we had just over 300 people that attended, and it was a great little event that we all enjoyed, and a lot of great networking that came out of it. The next conference that we'll be working at is Fireside, and they're another great community builder that have been working over the last 3 years to generate entrepreneurs in one spot. So they go away for the weekend, everybody works together, having some fun, kind of forgetting about the work side of life. So we put together that we'll be doing a little pitch event inside there as well. One of the kind of cool little neat things that we've been working on that we're going to talk to is T-Hero. So we're working with the China-Canada company, and in the next 3 months, what we're going to be doing with them is that we're going to be working with all the different startups that we've been working with in the last 8 months to last year, and we're going to be funneling this down to be running one big event that will take place at the end of October, where we'll be bringing 3 clients or 3 startups to China, so they can pitch their business and hopefully be able to get the traction to start running their business in China. So it's a cool little initiative that we started working with them on. I believe this is their 2nd year in doing this. So it's something that we're doing again as well to drive in attention and value back into what we're doing at OPN. We will be doing some giveaways, so there's t-shirts and other things. So by all means, we'll send something out. You guys can drop off your business cards. We're always looking at ways to interact with you guys, especially outside of the forum that we're in right now. So to kind of jump in and give you guys an idea of how this works, we mirror off of what we do in the angel community. So in the angel side of things, you're given probably between 10 and 15 minutes to pitch your business. Then they have 5 to 10 minutes of Q&A. So what we wanted to do is take that exact scenario and make it so that you would not know the difference between pitching here or going in front of an angel group. So we mirrored that up, and right now the way this structure is set up, it is 11-minute pitch, kind of found the in between, with 1 minute from each advisor, where it's pure feedback. You're not allowed to say anything. You just sit there, listen, and take the criticism and the positive output that you get from the advisors. And then we do about 5 minutes of Q&A from the crowd. So I implore you guys to come up with some great questions, think about it, and feel free to kind of hammer away. We want to make sure that they're getting the best learning, because at the end of the day, they need to improve their pitch, but improve their business too with questions that they might not know about or may have not thought about. And if you do have a question, if you can wait to grab a mic, because this is all live recorded. So we do have people that log in, we record it, we podcast it, we do all these great things to help the startups. If you can wait, grab a microphone. If not, when you do speak, please give your name and the company that you work for. That will help us obviously understand the context of the question as well. So to jump into the advisors that are on the panel today, some of you may be familiar with them. Angelo is our first man of the hour. Angelo has a vast background working with startups from the government side to lots of different types of investments. And I believe I always say this, I never actually confirmed it, but he was like the angel of 2016 and 17, right? Wicked. So he's got a great background and he loves to help out startups, so he's the perfect guy for the role. Next we have is Alfred. Alfred is a man of many talents, very built on a lot of wisdom, and runs one of the largest law firms in Canada, which is Miller Thompson. Our third advisor is Andrea Lown, and Andrea and I have known each other for, I don't even know, 15, 20 years, and she's awesome. She's an entrepreneur. She's worked on many different businesses. She's worked in product for numerous large corporations, and she runs multiple startups as well in the last 10 to 15 years. And the fourth is Mario, another great guy with a lot of deep experience, and his background is in sales and marketing. And they drive out a lot of large deals that work out through for startups all the way through to enterprise clients. So great panel. They're going to give some great advice, so we're looking forward to hearing what they have to say today. So welcome. Let's give it a round for these guys. So who's going to be pitching today? So we have 4 great companies. The first one, which will be Hedgehog, G, Bark and Yap, and WeTrack. So the first company that's going to come up and pitch will be G. Yes. Yeah, guys, start jumping. Your timer will be right there. At the end of the, just got to set it to 11 minutes. Yeah, so when you're ready, he's going to set it and we're good to go. If you can, maybe get in here, wherever you like, move around as long as he can capture you.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Erica Murray and I am the CEO and founder of G. G means unity. So we are uniting all dating app users and anyone who dates and focusing on the scheduling and actually meeting up for dates. At G, we are putting the date back into dating. So my story, I'm an engineer as well as an intellectual property lawyer, and I got married, I got divorced, and then my friend said, you should try online dating. Well, I entered the crazy world of online dating, and I not only started online dating, I traveled the world using all sorts of dating applications. I immediately identified that there was a serious gap in the market and a problem that I could solve. This is a date. 2 people sitting together, looking into each other's eyes, getting to know one another. This is current online dating. People on their phones, matching and chatting endlessly. Hey, how was your day? How are you? What are you doing this week? What do you like to do? Are you into sports? Great. When are we going to meet? Eventually, people want to meet up and date. The problem is an online dating app fatigue. People are dissatisfied with current online dating apps. They're tired. It requires time. We do not have time. The average date set up from Tinder takes 10 hours of chatting back and forth in order to find out when someone is free, where they're going to meet. Downtown Toronto, Mississauga, I live in Vaughan. Where are we going to meet? Who's going to pay for this date? And what are you interested in doing? The solution is G. G is an online social bidding and scheduling platform. G is unlike any conventional dating app. There is no profile swiping, matching, and endless chatting, just meaningful dates. So how do we do that? At G, I recognize that I would let all current dating apps do what they do. You can match on them, and you can endlessly chat on them until the point that you want to go on a date. Okay, so once you want to go on this date, you would download G, okay? So I apologize about the clicker, it's not my fault. So you want to go on a date. So me as a user, you would upload input into your G calendar, which G is an emoji-based platform. So I know when I'm free, what I want to do, and who pays. I input that into my G date calendar, and then when someone else asks me on any other dating platform, hey, when do you want to meet up? I skip the chatting, I give them a secret access code to my G platform, and voila, here are all my dates. Then people have the ability to see, number one, what is it that I'm interested in doing? If you receive an invite and this person only likes to golf, well then they're not meant to date you anyhow. So they can click dates that they want to ask you out on. Now, the gamification of G and the social bidding aspect of the new dating world is that I can share my dates and my availability with multiple people. So we have a situation now where I can be asked out on 3 dates for the one evening, and of course, what do we do in society anyhow is pick the best person. Okay, so dating. Online dating is a huge market. So in the US alone, the sales are almost 200 billion, and the average user spends approximately $245 a year on dating app services. So we know the market is huge. How much of that market can we grab? So 72 million people in North America alone use dating apps, and of that, 80% of Tinder users say that they are willing to try new dating apps. So it's not the case that if someone has Tinder, they will not want to use G. Also, the average person has 5 dating apps on their phone. So people are open and trying new dating apps all the time. Globally, this market is also massive. So here in North America, we all know Tinder, Bumble, etc. But actually in Asia, Badoo is 2 times larger than Tinder. And we all know that the Asian market loves emojis. How is G going to make money? So traditionally, dating apps currently focus on the user freemium models, in the sense that you have to pay $10 a month if you want advanced features. What G does actually focuses first on our preferred venues. So we associate emojis with preferred venues. So for instance, if someone picks a coffee cup and Starbucks wants to be suggested as the place you go for your date, Starbucks will pay $750 a month to have that feature and that subscription. Plus, they will pay $1 per each click. In the future, we also plan to introduce the user freemium model, and that would be in approximately 3 years, once users are also given discounts at these restaurants. Now, I should add that G does not just focus on restaurants. We have axe emojis, we have biking emojis, we have skydiving emojis. So the dating world is not just focused on restaurants, we're really trying to expand into various other dating activities. Where are we in terms of market traction and timeline? So up until March, the idea was pretty much confidential. We were working on it. In March, we launched our website and went public with the concept of emojis and calendaring and dating. In 3 months, we were able to attract over 1,000 people sign up, and that's using like pretty much zero marketing dollars. This summer, we've been at Toronto Pride, Montreal Pride, Edmonton Paydays, as well as next week, we'll be at the Innovation Garage, the CNE. In September, we have very strategic market launch plans. So we are a key sponsor at Ryerson Bosch Week, as well as we are the demo at TechTO, and we are the sponsor for DECAHU, which is in partnership with Deloitte. The rest of 2017, we'll be focusing on owning the Canadian market, and then in 2018, we plan to head into the US. Okay, so in terms of the team, I mentioned I am the CEO and founder. I would not have been able to move this fast without Blanc Labs, who have been the React Native developers. So I should add, currently we are live in both app stores already. We're in private beta mode, and this week we will be pushing out a new release, and I encourage you guys all to download it, try it out, give us feedback. We have part-time employees who basically I pay hourly, but we are raising in order to bring on more full-time staff. I also am heavily supported by a lot of companies, and I can't thank them enough. So I'm incubated at Ryerson's IBIS Zone, Tech Toronto, Startup Toronto, part of Osler's Emerging Companies program, Ultra House, STO, and then the IP law firm. And in terms of investment, what we are seeking $500,000. We're willing to give away 15% of the company, and this will go for the next 12 months to basically allow us to do a little bit more tech development in terms of a blind date feature, operations, but mainly we really need the money because we need to hit the ground in terms of sales and marketing, going door to door to all of these venues. This is my contact info, Eric Murray. Happy to meet any of you, show you the app, demo, etc. I really encourage you to download it. That would help me and give feedback. And in terms of investment, if there's anyone here who would like to speak to that, happy to do that as well. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to jump right into the advisors. So we're going to go with you first, Angela.
All right. Thanks, Jeffrey. That's a date. So great presentation. I'm glad to see that you got to the ask and the valuation and what you're willing to give up. So kudos, that's what we always look for in terms of what's my money going to do in terms of equity within the firm. I like that you're already baiting at the beta stage and engaging your user base. The one thing that would be good to focus on, you talked about the timelines, and in March there was quite a few sign-ups, 1,000 within a very short period of time, to sort of have some quotes or some feedback from those users. How did they enjoy the experience? Are there new things that need to be integrated in the base technology? And gain that market feedback as much as possible. That feedback will be key on determining how real the opportunity is from an investment perspective, and where the traction is. I also like the niche verticals that you focused on, the prides. That's really a great opportunity, and also a great market segment that probably would be a real early adopter into your technology. So kudos on that. So focus more on the gaining some of the feedback from the marketplace to establish your valuation and the rationale. One other area is in your ask, the 500K. I would have liked to have seen what would be the use of the funds. Would it be on new features, scaling, whatever the ask is targeted for. Other than that, great job.
Thank you. So I also thought it was awesome. Despite the clicker, you did very well. My one comment on that was, you said, sorry, it's not my fault. Like, it doesn't matter whose fault it is, just roll with it, just keep going, and kind of like roll with the punches and never blame anybody, because in a room with potential investors, it's their technology, and if you're like, it's not my fault, well, they're like, yeah, I guess it's ours then, so see yourself out, yeah. So just roll with it and, go with those things. It's not a big deal, and I don't think anybody was perturbed by it. We knew you were struggling with it. So I agree that I would have liked to see some feedback, both from the users, but for me, it was actually more from the advertisers. So in terms of the revenue model, I would have wanted to hear the pain point and the product solution for the advertiser. So yes, like, why would they pay that $750 a month in order to have the emoticon there? And like, is there a connection to the user? Like, what is their incentive to actually book or to use those emoticons? Like, is there perks? Is there points? Like, I think that I needed a little more connection there. So one of the things at the very beginning that sounded, and maybe I'm in your target demographic, so I don't know if this is feedback from a focus group of one, but the social bidding part that you started with kind of threw me. I was like, that sounds very transactional. I feel like I'm, kind of like cattle being sold in this thing. So I liked a line that you used later on, which was where you were starting about saying, like, let's let all these apps do what they do best in terms of connecting people, and then we'll layer on top of that to just get to the last mile. Like, let's take all the irritating back and forth and let's, kind of figure out the logistics. So I think that might have been a stronger thing to start with and explain that concept up front, because once I got there, I was like, okay, I'm starting to get this. So just pull that sort of stronger analogy up front in the presentation. And the last thing, I think the events that you picked to be present at are great. As an investor, I would just like to hear sort of like, when you're at that event, what's the hook? How do you get somebody to come, that, they come up to your table, or they see your booth, or they chat with you, and like, why would they download it when they're standing right in front of you? Like, I don't want them to go away. So just a few sort of like of those quirky kind of marketing scale. Tell me a little bit about the product, like the problem you're solving, and why people are super excited, because you've got awesome traction, but a little bit more detail on why you got the awesome traction.
Hi, Erica. Great job. You worked through the challenges with the clicker. It seems like you kind of have bad luck with clickers. I've seen you present before, and it always seems to trip you up. And I could simplify this by saying what they said, but I do have sort of two other items I would kind of want you to highlight. Number one, I think you're a great growth hacker, and you didn't really highlight how you got those quick 1,000 signups, or like you and I have had discussions about this before. For the audience's benefit, we're familiar with each other. What you did to get those 1,000 signups is something that I think would be compelling to a potential investor, because they'll realize what you're willing to do for your product and your brand. And I think a little bit on, say, my personal, I don't want to use the word disappointment, but I kind of was hoping by now you would have found a way to elicit an advertiser, at least to bring on as a beta or to entice someone in, so that you now have a sort of fully fleshed both sides of the equation. So I think that if you were to go out and look for a local establishment, someone who would be willing to kind of say, okay, look, put my emoji up there as a venue or as an opportunity, and in exchange for feedback, at least now while you're in this sort of private beta mode, then you kind of now have a more complete offering to put in front of investors to kind of lend more create credibility to your ask. I didn't see any concern with the ask, and I kind of understood where the money was going, so, but maybe it's because I'm a little bit more familiar with your application. But I think overall it's a great job, and I love the trajectory, and I think it's going to be fantastic for you.
Erica, I really enjoyed this. As the oldest guy in Canada on Bumble, I identified with it. What I want you to know is that there's a sense in which, and I'm speaking from personal experience, instead of getting to move to text or move to WhatsApp or whatever it is, that you go through that painful process. This is, I think, an exciting improvement to the space. But I want to make a couple of comments about raising capital for this company. First, I think the uses of funds disclosure is key. How are you going to spend this money? It was already mentioned earlier by Angel. And I say that because I think what people who are knowledgeable about this kind of space would want to see, and I've personally been involved in the rollout of some of these consumer apps where you want them to go viral, is real focus, particularly in the context of these geography-based, Tinders, Bumbles, whatever, they're all, who's 2 kilometers away or less. It is focusing on one geography, maybe downtown Toronto, maybe Miami, I don't know, where you get real fast take. And here I want you to be realistic. Whether it is some incentive that gets people to download, that could be, for example, through your sponsor partnership, Starbucks, etc., some freebie thing that they get to be on board, or whether it's in fact you providing some sort of incentive for them using events in the early stages to get that viral take-up. You have to be practical. And I would say the biggest thing you could do is invest in people working the crowds outside of clubs, working frosh events, working the Pride event as you already done, working those very focused environments and paying people to do it to get people to download your app. I can't emphasize enough how many great apps of this kind of targeted consumer sort don't take off, even though they've got great legs, because people don't realize the amount of push in that first beta market you have to do to get take-up that creates a viral sense that then can be spread with the kind of references we've been talking about, with the kind of user experience that can be reported on, with the kind of sponsor and partner endorsements that are exciting to get it into market B, C, D, E, and F. But it's great, and I hope you can focus on that. How I spend my money in the rollout.
Perfect, guys. Thank you. That was awesome. Okay, we're going to jump out of the crowd. We have about a couple minutes to grab a couple questions. Anybody have any questions that they would like to ask? Come on, see everything stirring. Go ahead.
Satish from Collective 7. I love the idea. Just wondering, at what stage do you start to think about considering the type of app and the kind of growth you need to have, because people want to meet a lot of other people on a dating app? At what point do you start to think about cost of customer acquisition and how much is it actually going to cost you to get a ton of people on your app?
Good question. So just to be clear, at first, we don't need that like 5,000 users on there to search within. So people are going to use it to schedule, and then once we have them as users and we have that mass, the plan then is to implement the searching within dates that are available. Likely with 20,000 people in the Toronto area, we would roll out what we call the blind date feature. So you would now have the ability to look for those date tiles. So, oh, someone tomorrow wants to go for wine, let me ask them out that way. But at the initial launch, we don't need, because we didn't build it based on searching, but to answer your question, likely around 20,000.
Okay, any other questions? Yes.
What has the reaction been from your users on a person-to-person basis in terms of how young millennials are receiving this?
Yeah, so very interesting. Young millennials haven't actually entered the Tinder and Bumble and that type of space. So they kind of view this as obvious. This is how we would set up dates with friends, with my sister. We've had mothers and daughters say they would use it. I've had married people say, does G mean G? I forgot I was married. I've had married people say, I'm going to use this to schedule sex and dinner with my wife. So I say the users are broad, but in terms of the young millennials, I'm kind of learning that they actually haven't even experienced the struggles that we have in terms of the current online dating platforms. So I'm optimistic that G will just be the new way for them.
Okay, awesome. Any other last questions? I have one question for Plenty of Fish, all these different apps, Bumble. How does the connection work for that? Like, are you guys working on partnerships with them, or you don't bother until you're at the 20,000 user base? Where does that fit in?
So we really haven't approached any of these. I've had 2 meetings with Ashley Madison, but really the plan is to onboard our own users, get the uptake, and then potentially, I don't know, maybe become even more an API for some of these other dating apps. I don't know yet where we would go, whether we want to stay independent or API, or we want to sell off to one of the larger ones.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, next is WeTrack.
Thanks, April. Hey, hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ishan Singla, and I'm the founder of WeTrack. I'm sure everyone sitting here either has a loved one or knows of someone affected with autism, Alzheimer's, or dementia. I want to share a personal experience with you all. My aunt has dementia, and she lost her husband about 15 years ago. But somehow she still thinks that he's alive, and she constantly talks to him. She lives alone, and we have a home care nurse who visits her daily for an hour or so to keep check on her. But then there are times when she's alone, and we have this constant fear if she's doing okay or not. And then there has been actually several instances when she wandered away unknowingly, but luckily we were able to locate her. But it was back in September 2015. I was going back from work, and I thought, you know what, let me go see her if she's doing okay or not. But when I got there, she was nowhere to be found. I looked around and checked with the neighbors, but still nothing. And then it came to a point where we had to actually involve police to locate her. Fortunately, the next day, somebody was able to recognize her and bring her back to the apartment. That right there was a life-changing moment for our family. We started looking into tracking devices for her safety. And after doing a lot of research, talking to a lot of technology caregivers and different organizations, we figured out that all these tracking devices have several common issues like limited geographical coverage, limited battery life, they do not work indoor, and a lot more. And one interesting feature that came up was a lot of these tracking devices are in the shape of either a wristwatch or a pendant. Now, the people who are wearing those devices, they tend to like the device in the beginning, but then it starts bothering them in their day-to-day life, and they sooner or later they figure out, like, why do they have to wear this device at all times? That's when they remove it, and that defeats the purpose. That's how the idea of WeTrack was born. WeTrack is a small credit card-sized global tracking device that works on Internet of Things, and it actually allows you to monitor the location of loved ones anytime, anywhere across the globe. The device itself comes with a SIM card inbuilt, and it is remotely controlled by a mobile phone application. Yeah, so now the application also comes inbuilt with several unique features like report scheduling. So what report scheduling does is it allows the parents or the caregivers to set up custom schedule in terms of how often they want to receive the location alerts. Let's say every 30 seconds, every 2 hours, every 6 hours, based on time of the day and days of the week. And in addition to that, there are other features like geofencing. So basically what it does is it allows the parents or caregivers to set up custom fence, and whenever the device enters or exits a radius, it sends an instant alert. And then in addition to that, there are a lot of other features like SOS alert, panic mode, report sharing, etc. Now, there are a lot of other existing tracking devices in the market, and what sets us apart? What makes us different and better than the rest? All those existing tracking devices can be separated into two categories. The first is a Bluetooth tracking device like Tile or TrackTile. Now the limitation with those devices is their limited range. So basically the distance between the mobile phone and the device has to be within a range of 100 to 200 feet. And outside of that, the device doesn't work. Then the second category is the GPS, the traditional GPS tracking devices like Pocket Finder or Angel Sense. These kind of devices comes with its own set of limitations, like limited battery life of a day or two, limited geographical coverage, and they do not work indoor, and also when you go to crowded areas like downtown, a lot of buildings around. That's where WeTrack comes in. WeTrack actually combines the power of cellular radio, Wi-Fi, and enhanced GPS technology to provide global coverage, indoor location, and extended battery life of up to 28 days on a single charge. Now, in terms of business model, there is a one-time very competitive cost of the device as compared to other existing GPS trackers. And after that, it is based on a subscription model. Now, based on our target market, we have designed two very simple plans. One is a monthly, one is an annual plan. But the good part about that is there are no contracts. It's more of like a pay-as-you-go model. And then another source of recurring revenue for us is our own IoT tracking platform. So there can be other hardware tracking devices or any other hardware devices who can leverage our IoT tracking platform, and they can fetch the location alerts. Now, one of the very important sales strategy for us is to actually directly partner with autism, Alzheimer's, and elderly care organizations. A reason for doing that is there are thousands of affected families who are already associated with those organizations, and once we get their endorsement, we are on their social media, we are on their website, newsletter, and everywhere. So that actually gives us a lot of credibility. And also that's a form of direct organic marketing. And that actually saves us tons of marketing dollars as well. And in addition to that, there are other forms of marketing as well, like social media and mass media campaigns. We actually partnered with Autism Canada late last year. And we also got a letter of interest from them. And in addition to that, we also got marketing interest from Alzheimer's Society of Ontario to be their marketing partners for Finding Your Way program. Now, at a global level, there are over 60 million people who are affected with autism, Alzheimer's, or dementia. When we talk about our initial target market, which is North America, so there are over 9 million people who are affected, and this number will rise by another 75% in the next 15 years. Also, personal tracking device is a $3.5 billion market in North America at an annual growth rate of 11.9%. Now, when we talk about our initial target market of the US and Canada, which is 9 billion, we project to sell about 2,300 devices in year one, which is 2018, and that will give us a gross revenue of a little over $500,000. We exhibited at OCE Discovery this year, and we were also selected under top 10 startups to pitch for MUO Ventures. And like I mentioned, we have marketing partnership with Autism Canada, Alzheimer's Organization of Ontario, and another is Osram. So Osram is a global LED provider, but they are also expanding into elderly care, and they are really interested to market our product all over Europe. Then we have been working with Spark Innovation Center based in Oshawa for over a year now, and we were also selected under top high potential program. In addition to that, recently, a couple months ago, we actually partnered with the Lake Ridge Hospital in Oshawa. They will be helping us out with beta launch. Okay, so in terms of timeline, so basically we worked with a lot of organizations. We did a lot of research into existing tracking devices. So based on that, the idea of WeTrack was born actually in January 2016. And then worked with a lot of technology caregivers, organizations, and then we were selected as a top high potential program in around June 2016. And then we actually got OCE with and Insert Engage grant to work with Durham College on product development. And then earlier this year, we got another NSERC Engage grant and OCE DYPB to start working with Centennial College towards other aspects of our funding and our partnership with Lakeridge Hospital. We plan to.
We have a lot of positive stories, and one of those stories is actually tomorrow. We're actually headed down to Jamaica with one of our clients. They're taking us down to build out some digital initiatives with them. And it was through our mentor's guidance and advice that we started with this relationship. And yeah, we are so proud to have been a part of that with him. We're going to continue to network really hard with leaders down there and build out stage 3 of the process, which is networking with those leaders and building out more women relationships.
And just from our side, for all the mentors, including people like yourself, especially on panel, for young businesses that are growing, we just want to say thank you for the time you invested in us. It means much more than you think. And from Julia and I's side, we promise that we will do our job and pass it down. And those of you that are thinking about a mentor or looking for a mentor or anything like that, do it. And we are always here to share our resources, our stories, our success, anything you need, we can help. But our mentor changed our lives and our business, and please do look into it if you haven't done so already.
Awesome, thank you. Well said. So if you guys are thinking about mentors, grab a mentor, they're very helpful. It's certainly a way to help you grow your business and see things differently. Okay, so for the next presentation, just waiting for them to change the slide. Kevin, you're up.
Hello everyone, my name is Kevin, I'm from Pet Shop Cross, and we're building the last umbrella you'll ever buy. The problem I'm trying to solve here is simple. Umbrellas break. How many people here have broken an umbrella before? That's pretty much everybody in this room. The average consumer breaks over 24 umbrellas. In areas that rain much more frequently, this number only multiplies. And I'm no exception to this. I used to live in Vancouver, the reigning capital of the country. I lived for over 5 years where I broke countless umbrellas in every way, shape, or form. Whether the stem was weak and snaps on me, or even the canopy material was really poor and rips. The most common way an umbrella breaks is it flips inside out, and it's from flipping inside out from a small gust of wind. All it takes is one small flick, and it'll flip inside out, and this will damage the frame permanently. Now this problem's not crying for only me alone, but many people worldwide. Over 1 billion umbrellas are broken every single year. While living in Vancouver, I couldn't find a solution that simply met my needs. Now, this is where our solution came in, and we decided to design around this. We designed the perfect combination of style, strength, and convenience, building a super strong umbrella, re-engineering the normal umbrella architecture to build a lightweight design, yet extremely strong. And we incorporate a whole bunch of different styles into this, according to everybody's needs. We create a fully interchangeable canopy, such that with one robust frame, you'll have an unlimited supply of different patterns, colors, and designs. And finally, we never forgot about your convenience. We create a super portable umbrella that will fit in almost any bag size and almost made impossible to lose. And this is where one of our core technologies is. With our Wind Flex system. I come from an automotive background, and we incorporate the automotive shocks in your car into the everyday umbrella design. How this works is every one of our ribs is able to pivot independently, such that we can adjust it to every bit of wind that comes directly at you. So every one of our ribs can pivot like the shocks in your car. Imagine driving along a very bumpy road. You'll encounter a lot of potholes and a lot of little different bumps. Your shocks can't counteract all those little imperfections to give you a smoother ride. And our umbrella behaves the exact same way. Better yet, let's see this in action. Well, the gifts are not working at the moment, but on the left, you'll actually see a conventional umbrella that's supposed to be going through our wind test, and that fits really easily inside out from the amount of wind it's facing. And on the right, you're supposed to see our umbrella going through the exact same wind test and able to pivot against any amount of wind and it'll flip inside out. Oh, here we go. And see the umbrella on the left, it flips inside out really easily. That's actually the exact same type of umbrella I have right there. And on the right, you see our umbrella. No matter how much wind is impact on it will flip inside out. We built some 70 miles of wind. Those are tornado type winds that this will survive. And what's the demand like for our umbrella? We launched a Kickstarter campaign, and we already have over 900 different customers, and over 1,200 umbrellas already pre-ordered. We sold umbrellas for $99 each. And from our Kickstarter backers, over 80% have never paid more than $40 ever for umbrella, probably paid more than double that for ours. Because of the reason they're buying into our product is the guarantee of durability and wind-resistant technology that they couldn't find anywhere else. And even the press are raving about our product. Huffington Post calls our umbrella the incredible Hulk of the umbrella universe. And Gizmax says this will be the last and best umbrella you'll ever own. So what's the market like for umbrellas in general? In the North American market, that's a $380 million market size. Globally, this is a $5 billion market. You have areas in Southeast Asia that face typhoon seasons who are in dire need of a product like ours. Now, umbrellas are not new age technology. Umbrellas have been around for centuries. As such, there's been a lot of innovations to make a more durable, more wind-resistant umbrella. You have umbrellas that change the shape of the canopy to make it more aerodynamic, or even companies that turn the umbrella to be a wearable. However, none of these companies have found much commercial success because they strayed away from a conventional umbrella design. People want an umbrella that looks like an umbrella. Think of the Segway. The Segway was an engineering marvel, however, it never found much commercial success because it was socially embarrassing to be riding a Segway. And that's what people want in their umbrella. We incorporate all our core technology to keep the product robust yet beautiful. And our sales are indicative of this. We have over $100,000 in pre-order sales. These are paid pre-orders already, sight unseen for our product. We have another $100,000 in signed LOIs with major retailers like Holt Redfoo and brand partners such as Samsonite. And we project another $500,000 in sales by the end of the year as we launch our product. As I mentioned, our umbrellas are priced at $99 each with a healthy gross margin of 65% after cost of goods sold and fulfillment fees. And we sell spare canopies for $12 each with a healthy margin of 70%. And our roadmap to success. For the next 6 months, we plan to focus purely on e-commerce, especially in the North American markets, beginning in the rainy climates of Vancouver and Seattle. And we plan to work with our one major brand partner in Samsonite to create a robust product for them as well too. In the 18-month mark, we plan to expand to global markets such as United Kingdom, Hong Kong, and Japan, where there's heavy use on umbrellas. We also plan to enter brick and mortar stores and also license our technology. And also we'll plan to incorporate a Bluetooth tracker such that you'll never lose your umbrella ever again as well. And in the long term, we plan to make our wind flag system a permanent accessory on every umbrella out there, just so all umbrellas can be just as durable and just as wind resistant as ours. And furthermore, we plan to expand our product line to create golf umbrellas, stick umbrellas, beach umbrellas, even patio umbrellas. And with our interchangeable canopy system, we plan to create the largest umbrella canopy library so you can customize any umbrella to your liking. Even people like you or me can design a canopy in many different ways. You can design by the panel, or even design by the overall design. Such that we want to make umbrellas customized and simple, and the umbrella can be your own. And we have already almost 50 publications that are raving about our product. And as we go to product launch, we have even more that will be writing about us in 2 weeks. We're all filming segments with Discovery Channel and also CTV, showcasing the engineering quality of our product. And we already have influencers lined up to talk about product as we go through our product launch. And not only that, buying an umbrella, we're going to target the commuter market first, especially being in Vancouver. We're going to be creating a series of physical bus ads, but also using the social media aspect to gauge the user. We're going to be launching a Trash the Past campaign in about 3 weeks, where if you break an umbrella and you take a picture of yourself with your umbrella, you have a chance to win one of our. And we have the team to do this. Me and my co-founder Kate, we come from a mechanical engineering background with over 20 years of product development experience. We've worked on high-performance race cars, worked on Boeing landing gear systems, and even helped the development team with the Chevy Camaro. We have the skill set to bring this product to life. Velocity program at University of Waterloo, we're also supported by the Acceleration, OC, and CDMN. We have mentors from ranging hardware, sales, and to help grow business. We built this company with a lot of hard people coming from very beginning. We grants, and we were able to source reliable contracts, contract manufacturer, fund all our prototypes, all our tooling, even our first pilot, 1,500 units. $300,000, 70% of the money will be towards sharing our next round of inventory and marketing efforts to scale our business, and also using a portion of the money to secure additional IP for the future and build our Canopy library platform. Thank you.
Great work. Andrea, we'll start with you.
Okay, I don't know a whole lot about umbrellas, except that I get completely stalked by new umbrella brands on Facebook. So, what I was thinking is, you kind of compared the one umbrella, like very traditional umbrella, the corner store and things like that, but I wouldn't mind to hear a little bit more about the kind of like all those newfangled ones that you showed and why they're either like not working or maybe even like how you can see yourself marketing yourself a bit differently. I really liked the and I think it was very kind of like Dragon Den-esque, and I think that's great, you know, in a room to get people excited about it. And then lastly, maybe this is just personal curiosity, but I would like to know a little bit more about like the branding and the marketing that you had in mind, because it is a big chunk of where you wanted to spend your money. So those were kind of my questions.
Yeah, great presentation, great energy. I would have loved to have seen a canopy on that frame so that we can see a more complete version of it. And you know, you might have even done a side-by-side comparison test. There we go. Now there we go. So there's a missing piece. Come and get your check. No, I think that you're pretty boutique. So I have some questions, or at least some doubts about your marketing strategy. That's really a question that you'll have to raise with whoever it is that's advising you on that perspective. When you're a $99 umbrella focusing on a commuter who will buy an umbrella for $6 at a variety store and lose it on the subway every day, is probably not going to be the bulk of your business. So, you know, even though some of the feedback said that nobody had ever spent $40 or more on an umbrella before, $40 is a huge chunk of money to spend on an umbrella. And, you know, having, it's sometimes a necessity purchase. Yesterday I ended up buying a really pretty umbrella that because I needed one and not because I wanted one. So, you know, I do have some concerns about that, but I love the engineering behind it. I love the fact that you talk about your capabilities. I think you've got some amazing results showing, and I really think that this could be something. I like the idea of licensing out your technology, patenting it, and letting other people use it. And the Canopy library, I think, is epic. And I think that that's where all your money is going to be, you know, down the road. I mean, the frames go out there, but the Canopy library and build your own canopy is genius. So good work on that.
I'm going to be really quick. Disagree with my friend to the left here. I think your big margins, your big price tag are actually going to turn out to be a win for you because it's going to differentiate your product. and people are going to understand what they're buying is quality, and I've seen it happen with extraordinary products before, so I don't agree with him. I think your valuation is unbelievably sexy, like too low maybe. I love this deal, and it's not just because my old friend Kevin Hood is your mentor.
So while Alfred's writing the check, maybe I have a couple of comments here. This is the second time I've seen you present, Kevin, and I did get your email, by the way, and I do have some suggestions for you. I still think that, as Mariel mentioned, the canopy was really your... I would also look at really niche verticals, particularly the corporate marketplace, having a IBM-based library, a library of corporate logos that you can pitch to Fortune 500 companies could generate significant revenues for you. Having said that, I do like to bring an example of one company that I ran across many years ago when a marketing consultant came in to teach marketing to us, and I posed the question to them, what would you think of an opportunity where a company is developing a product that already exists in the marketplace? You can buy it at the dollar store for $5, and their product is going to be retailing for $100. What are their chances? And the guy said, 0. Well, actually, they're an amazing company, and their success was targeting a specific vertical that wanted to pay that amount of money. And the example is a universal remote control. You can buy that at the dollar store, and the company was Harmony Remote, and they're still around these days, and they go up to $500. And it was really targeted to a specific market. I think you have something here that instead of looking at the mass market, targeted verticals where you can increase the... Also, on the side, you talk about a good chunk of the money going towards building inventory. I think you may want to also explore some government opportunities that could fund those costs, like EDC, especially if the sales are external to Canada. A lot better in terms of the equity that you would save and not give away. Other than that, good.
Okay, great. That was some good advice. Any questions from the audience? You all just want to buy one. Awesome. Okay.
I just have a suggestion, and I think anybody who doesn't want to get wet, like when they're dressed up like a celebrity or a politician or diplomat, and I think you might want to try and get it into the TIFF swag bag.
Great idea. Anybody else?
Have a quick comment. I make the comment on the basis of primary all the comments are comments. There's no Senate comments. Question on the partners. You mentioned that actually I see a logo. There's a whole range logo on one of your presentation slides. Just wonder if you have worked with any designers to make these umbrellas more appealing to a certain vertical, to the point made earlier?
Yeah, we have. Especially for our canopy library platform, we actually have like independent artists that actually want to design canopies for us. We're basically reaching out to create an initial library of that as we launch our canopy platform. But that will be in about a year's time to create that diversity for our canopies, where you can buy specific individual canopies, like especially one designed by X designer versus Y designer.
Last question.
Your Kickstarter success and the amount of people you got to fund and the amount of money you raised, I think that was very, very impressive to see. And do you mind a little bit sharing, was it overnight viral or did it pick up really quickly? Can you share exactly how that happened? It's very exciting to see that. It says a lot.
So for our Kickstarter success, initially how we got the most amount of traction was actually our engineering, our wind testing video. With the GIFs you saw, we actually had about a 1-minute clip showing how our suspension system worked and how basically how much more beneficial it was versus all the competitor umbrellas. So we actually broke every one of them compared to ours, which survived. So immediately people could see that. The amount of people, especially those who can't bought onto our product right away, where I've used that umbrella before and it broke on me, and I see that your umbrella survived. That's where the most amount of traction came from. And that was, we actually showcased our wind testing video about 3 weeks prior to launch, and that's how we built up an entire mailing list, basically a lot of our pre-orders prior to launch day. And then from there, it was just people writing articles about us. We really spent $0 on marketing, and that was like all the articles was just us reaching out to people independently, and then us showcase our product. 20% of all our pre-orders were based in the greater Vancouver area, because that was actually where we were able to showcase the product to people. A lot of people want to see it in action and understand it, like actually touch and feel an umbrella like ours before spending that money on it. That's why we believe once we actually fully launch our product, we're actually delivering in about 3 weeks to all the Kickstarter backers and pre-orders. And that's when we believe that we can really start to grow, because people will actually be able to experience the product firsthand.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, well, thank you very much. I have a quick question. How many other people in the crowd are startups? Anybody else? Your startup? Well, one of the things that we want to throw out there again is to get exposure to you guys. So if you guys want, you can come up for 30 seconds, give your name and a little spiel about what you do. If you're interested, yeah? All right, come on up.
Hi, how's it going? My name's Tanvir. I have a lifestyle apparel company, and it's basically targeted towards a young millennial audience that is motivated, ambitious, driven to accomplish something, move forward with something in their lives, but they just need that extra push to get there. So essentially what we do is we put motivational messages on our t-shirts, on our hats, and what we're trying to do is put out content that might entice these people to move forward with the project that they're working on. For example, we might put up an article that says, these are the 4 websites that you can use to build your blog, your business, so on and so forth. And by publishing content like that, we engage people to become a part of our community. And then basically the idea is once we funnel them with articles like that, they then want to wear our clothes because they feel like they're wearing their hustle on their sleeves. So that's really what it's all about, and I just thought I would put it out there. So, thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, come on up.
Hi, my name is Daniel Gouveia, and I'm a co-owner and director and producer of a film company called Magic Button Films. We develop commercial and film content, so when I look at products like what this individual just had with the umbrella, I basically come up with content to try and market and advertise that product to get up to people like you, and to basically show and sell the function of basically the umbrella that you created. I recently did a commercial for a bag company called Bank, and I had to basically promote and sell that product. Basically show the type of material that they were using, how it's marketable, how each customer can benefit from the product, and how the multi function of the bags. So in my world, it works a little differently. I basically work with a lot of different ad agencies and market agencies and try to sell products through commercial. But I also do film work, so it's it's very challenging, it's very different, but I do like working with different companies, startup companies that are trying to market their product, and I love to get involved with those type of companies and try and market their product the way they want it to be seen. I've been working at this for 3 years, and I've been working really hard to kind of get my company started. We've been doing very well. We do some corporate, we also do commercial, and we also specialize in films. So Toronto's a great hub, especially with TIFF, and as that person mentioned, but yes.
Awesome. Your 30 seconds, man.
Oh, sorry, thank you.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so not the least, not the last, but it is the last, but we're going to have
Hi there. I guess I'm standing between you guys and the next function, which is probably a bar or something like that. So we're now going to go to the dogs for this entire presentation. So my name is Galen Udell. I am the founder and Uber pup parent. And like any of you who are dog owners, you're probably pup parents as well, and you're part of a huge, huge community, not only in North America, but globally. I'm going to start off with a little bit of a story, though. It's going to take you back about 10 years. And my wife and I had moved about 10 kilometers from our home. And we figured, we had 2 dogs, and we figured that we'd be able to continue using our vet and our groomer and our dog walker. We're only 10 kilometers away, but the reality was, that 10 kilometers turned into 15, 20, 30-minute drives. And we had an emergency with our dog, and suddenly we realized that that 30 minutes was a difference between possible life and death for that dog. So we ended up having to start to find, different service providers, and that was long before we were all carrying around these things, right? So a lot more difficult to find what it is you're looking for. And then fast forward about 5 years, and I'm on an assignment in Asia. My wife is back at home. We have a new puppy, and that puppy gets attacked in a dog park. Pretty serious. Scarred both the dog and my wife, and we had to go through a search to retrain our dog around the pets, but also retrain my wife. She needed that assistance to understand that she could deal with it. And those kind of activities in life are really, it got me to really move out of the corporate world at that time, and then started into a track of trying to find the guy here who's going to we started to look around for how do we find new service providers? How do we go about looking around the community and getting that information that we need? And we realized that this is really all about connecting in the dog park. We find the most useful information that we can from those other owners in the dog park. I may not know their name, but I'm going to listen to them about who their vet is or who their groomer is. It's just a bond that dog owners seem to have. We're a little bit wacky that way, that we really will accept the advice from other dog owners without thinking too much about that. But that's really how we survive. And so as we were going through this, we started to realize that there was another problem on the other side of the equation, and that was that the businesses in this arena really have some difficult times in trying to stay up with the technology. We as dog owners are looking for new technology. We're looking for ways that we can book online. We're looking for ways that we can find information online. And a lot of the service providers weren't doing that. These are very small businesses, a micro business environment. 1 to 4 employees, 94% of the businesses in this space. So it's a very, very difficult market for them to deal with and understand how to keep up with the technology, but also how to service the marketplace. So what we came up with was Bark in the App. So Bark in the App is a combination of site where we really are building up the social community for dog owners, to be able to allow them to connect with the resources, but also research and understand and review businesses from a dog's perspective. It's all about trying to create that virtualized dog park where a dog I can understand what a dog owner is looking to do by how they're writing from their dog's perspective. And so it's a site where the dog has the account. On the other side of the equation, though, we also have the businesses where they can connect with the dog owners in a much more fluid manner. They have the ability to aggregate the businesses in a round view type of technology, but also to be able to now start to measure what's going on and validate and look at predictable ROI. So it's very, very difficult in this market space for them to be able to do. So really we look at this as how to connect tech-savvy dog owners to the businesses that love dogs. So how does it work? Basically, you create an account for your dog. Your dog will, so this is a spot where the dog actually owns the account. So we don't, the human is behind the scenes. Your dog owns the account, your dog connects with other dogs, they will create their own packs with other dogs. Excuse me, then they have a mapping feature where they can find everything around them. And then finally, the businesses themselves will be on there, and the dogs are the ones who are making the reviews of these sites for the businesses. From the business perspective, we really tried to make this quite simple for the business owners. These business owners, again, 1 to 4 employees, they don't have a whole lot of. So we went out, we made a scrape, we've got for our model, as we do our MVP, we have about 7,000 businesses in the model already. We create a site for them. They come in, excuse me, they can search for themselves. If they don't find themselves, if they do find themselves, all they do is hit mark, and they'll come in, be able to set up themselves very quickly and simply. If they're not there, they can then add themselves to our database, 2 clicks and they're in. And then finally, they're automatically put up on our site, and both on web and on mobile. So, business model. Well, we are a premium model that moves into a subscription price model. Again, we have this is here, it's $100 annual. And then on top of that, we have a bunch of pay-per-use items that they can go into so that they can now start to promote themselves to their community in a much more vibrant manner. We also then look at the manufacturer side of it. This is a big piece of the marketplace down here. So we have a bunch of pay-per-use. They don't need to create an account. What they would look at is getting into advertising, events, sponsorship, and then also big data. As we start to collect the data on the users, this becomes ultimately important as this big data play. So how big is the market? Well, in North America, we have almost 19 million dog owners in North America. But that's really not our market. We really want to hone down into the 35 million people that are, excuse me, considered pup parents. These are the people that consider the dog to be part of their family, and that they are in between 15 and 69 years of age. So, the dog customer industry, basically from a business perspective, there's 8 different verticals that we look at here. So it's not just dog sitting or pet walking. We've seen some huge numbers in this space alone with Rover and Pet Vacay. We look at the entire marketplace. You can see the growth, and start off for us is all on digital advertising. It's a huge market that we're looking at here for the digital marketing side. It's growing at 12% per year. Excuse me, and it's a $1.2 billion marketplace in North America. So we have a marketing strategy. We have 4 pillars that we work under. Excuse me, we are focused in Toronto neighborhoods. This is really what we're taking the Zipcar model. We're focused into 3 specific neighborhoods in Toronto, that this is where we're diving deep into to be everywhere in that marketplace, and then we'll expand out from there. Social media campaigns, social media campaigns. We have reward programs for dog owners, and then we have community-based focused blogs and events. Excuse me, so this is all really to build our brand awareness so that people get to know who we are in the marketplace, but we're available across the country, but really just focused specifically into these 3 marketplaces for all of our social needs right now. Excuse me, so from market activity and traction, we've been working with the SPCA, the Toronto Humane Society, a couple of boutique dealers in the Toronto area, Pet Expo, and then, so that's for community programs that we're doing. And then we just kicked off in February a shelter and rescue program where we will donate $1 back to a shelter and rescue for every dog that joins our marketplace. And we've realized that the dogs that are adopted, shelter dogs, the owners really do need a lot more help than other people do. So this is a really big focus for us. We'll be meeting with, Durham Humane Society next week as a way that we can focus and move up into the SPCA total organization to take this thing on. We also have pilot going on in Columbus, Ohio, and we just had somebody reach out to us last week to start looking at the DC marketplace, so the Metro DC complex, to look at bringing ourselves into that area. On a growth side, our dog accounts right now, so we started in June last year on a web platform. We brought out our mobile platform in March of this year. We're seeing a 29% month-over-month growth on the number of dog users. We're just over 1,000 dog owners that have accounts right now. And on the business side, we're growing at about 21% month-over-month. These are companies coming in, and it's free for them right now because we don't have a pay model yet. We want to help and work out our MVP through the process of how do we want to bring in advertising, how do we want to bring in promos, all those kind of things. Really important to us to get that fixed before we start charging. So channel strategy, SMB retailers and service providers is really where we're focused on a lot of web and inside sales, and on the franchise and manufacturers, kind of how we split our marketplace. And they have a real different model we have to go after, which is heavier marketing, heavier sales type of activities to those groups. So the big thing for us is really the cost of acquisition. So we have to drive ourselves today as we look at our marketplace. It's a fairly expensive model. We want to move that down into this area, and we see that by the growth, that as we move down this low quadrant, this is huge success. If we can get down into a 12-month recovery, we look at an 80% renewal rate. So if we have a 12-month recovery, we've got 7 years of free business on the client. In the US at this point in time, Bark Happy and Pot In are the two real main competitors to us, focused in specific markets in the US. We're still trying to gain understanding because it's really hard to understand. None of them are charging anything to anybody. So it's kind of a free-for-all. People are trying to understand. But we actually see these two as potential exit strategies for us because as they grow, they don't care about the Canadian marketplace. So as we grow the Canadian marketplace, we become very attractive to somebody who wants to pick up all the Canadian data. So again, from our projections perspective, we look at as we start to grow our model, we have some very, very attractive numbers that we can grow into because of the size of this marketplace. So from an investment perspective, we bootstrap and we're an OCE company. We've used all those funds for our web development, mobile app, social strategy, and awareness. We have some seed money going out with Angel. Numbers are roughly 120,000 for the seed round. We'll follow it on with 500,000 Angel round. Valuation, we're still working those out with our mentors to understand what they're going to be. With all these, I'm getting the signal here to wrap up. One quick one. Our team, myself, Glenn Clark, who's my CTO, years of experience, 25 years plus in the industry. We have Susie Wang, who's our content manager, who's working with us, and my co-chief marketing officer, Chilia Petal, who inspire me every day to get out and do this, and then come and cuddle with me later in the day, so it's always good. And that's it. So.
Awesome, thank you. Sorry, man, we have a strict timeline. If we don't follow the timeline, then we're never going to get anywhere, right? All right, Angelo, why don't you kick us off? Mario, you haven't started.
Great, the best for last. As a pet parent, I totally get the concept, and it really does resonate with me. I can see how you're going to end up with like polarized rooms sometimes, or people are going to sit there and say, I have no idea what you're talking about. I still go back to the initial time I talked to you. When are you going to finally crack cats? When you figure that one out, you'll be a billionaire. I love the changes that you've made and the evolution that you made. I think that the competitive marketplace is starting to sort of monetize itself and show where it is. I was wondering why you hadn't really sort of made the progress that we had sort of looked for, although your month-over-month subscribers are encouraging, but we did have a discussion. You did explain that you ran into some technical issues, so that's understood. I think that an element that you didn't bring in that might be useful to bring in would be a way to parlay larger suppliers and utilize this platform to gauge the success of their marketing activations. Because I think that this could be a natural extension for marketing metrics and for them to figure out ROI on those activations. Otherwise, I love the shape of it. I still love the branding, and I think it's got a lot of potential. So great job.
I like it a lot too. I live across from a dog park, and I just am amazed at how it all happens. I think, and it's the only kind of comment I'm going to make is that the fact that you've got this fragmented space, historically fragmented space, no legacy ecosystem that really is sustainable is perfect for this kind of application. I think if you can get real traction, I think you're going to surprise yourself with how your revenue expectations are outstripped by what you're currently thinking.
So I don't own a dog, but I still think it's a very compelling, definitely community to be a part of. I do a lot of work with small businesses, so on the side of the actual vendors. One thing I'll caution you is that I always tended to overestimate their technical capabilities. So even though you're saying, okay, they don't really have the expertise, all these things, even though I knew that, I still aimed almost too high for them to understand. So when you talk about data for them and all of these things, that's still a bit over their heads. And so I would suggest looking at some of the other similar tools in other industries. So there's a travel booking one like iHotelier. It's for very small vacation property owners. Don't know how to make a website, don't know how to have a booking engine, payments are elusive to them, like all that kind of stuff. So I think there's even some real basics that maybe you have planned in your services for them, but I didn't see in the list, that I think like you might find again revenue that you don't really have the problem of the merchant nailed down yet.
So I only have 2 words to say to you, Galen, on the tads. Woof, woof, no. There are a couple of things. I really like the traction. Also, I like the element that you're doing 2 pilots outside of the Toronto area from an investment point of view. We really want to see that this has legs beyond just the local community. And expanding that marketplace and the community will be key to success. But more importantly, it's converting all of those users into paying customers is going to be one of the biggest challenges. And getting that customer acquisition cost down to those levels is paramount. You know, $350 at this stage, that's enormous. You'll need lots of resources to be able to capture more and more users on there. But I really love it, and as I mentioned to you in the past, I really love your name. You did an awesome branding job. It sticks. Thanks.
Okay, we're actually run out of time, so Galen, that was great, thank you. We do have to move on. We won't be able to grab any questions, but you can find Galen after to chat with him. So thank you guys.